Gotta make one more video. When I think about Masons and Eastern Stars, I personally feel like they still human beings. All of us are human beings. So I do believe that if there are a lot of stuff in this world that's secretive, they're probably doing it to try to protect certain people from like crazy stuff that's probably happening in this world that a lot of people don't know about. And that's why I'm always saying God bless to everybody, because I really don't know what's all going on in this real world. But I hope that I'm right about believing that all of them is just not moving in some messed up way, trying to hurt people and take people's lives. And I hope that I, don't look at them like that. But I don't know, yo. It's a lot of weird stuff that's been happening in my life these last few years of my life. And I think it's I think it's a man out here that look like me and is lying on my image, yo. I still remember when I first got to Los Angeles, California. This was on like the 13th of July. I was walking down the street and I just heard somebody say, "I don't want to walk this way." And I turned around and looked over. When I turned around and looked over, it was some dude with an afro walking away from me. And I was like, what the hell? I said to myself, what the hell is he talking about? What? He said, "I don't want to walk this way." Just turned around. I didn't even know who the man was. I heard it before I saw it. I just heard somebody say, "I don't want to walk this way." And I turned around and the dude was walking the opposite direction. That dude probably recorded me while I was walking through California and try to make it look like that he was walking on the side of me or walking behind me. And then I ran into that same dude at the library. And I said, "Bro, I saw you around like Skid Row area. I was walking down the street. This was around like the 13th of July. He was like, "Oh, no, that wasn't me." I'm like, "Yeah, that was you. That was most definitely you." And that dude told me, he told me something about a building that got like a top deck that he be hanging out at that's not too far from like around the Los Angeles Public Library. And they got like a upstairs deck to it, like some hotel building, some like big hotel suite or something like that. But I never went nowhere near that area. And that dude used to be hanging out with dudes off like by the stairs, smoking and drinking and stuff like that. But I know for a fact that was that man that was walking behind me around like the 13th of July 2024. I just heard somebody say, "I don't want to walk this way." And I turned around and that dude was walking up. He was already walking the opposite direction. But he probably recorded me and said, "I don't want to walk this way," and tried to make it look like that he knew me. Like I said, I think when I went to that Hooks restaurant on the 7th of February, and I was just talking about how phones can get hacked. And this one dude just jumped in the conversation and asked, "Do you got an iPhone?" I think he recorded himself asking me if I had an iPhone, trying to make it look like that he was trying to flirt with me. This is the way people can convince a whole audience of people. If people can record a 10-second clip, they can easily, have the whole world believing that somebody that you don't know, you're talking to people that you're not talking to. And it really don't matter once the whole audience believe a lie. It don't matter what's the truth no more. I mean, it looks like it don't matter from the public versus one person, but it matters to God, and that's all that matters. Knowing that you got a good connection with God, you close to God, and God letting you know what's really going on. So I do believe that there's a lot of secrets in this world, and I believe that naturally human beings will always think survival first, peace, joy, happiness. That's just common sense. But I'm really stressing over my twin sister, yo, because I feel like most definitely is a lot of weird stuff going on. And if it's somebody running around California or maybe even running around Florida acting like me, then that means that it's somebody giving that approval. Like I said, if people could be cloned in a facility somewhere, they probably cloned me back in December 1st of 2022 when they took my blood against my will when I went to the Trident Hospital in Charleston, South Carolina. That was the same hospital that my Uncle Bubby had passed away at, I believe. And that was my eldest uncle. Like, he was the oldest out of all of my family members, in St. George, South Carolina. But that was December 1st, 2022, when they took my blood. I ain't no telling what they did with my blood. And I told them no. And I said, "I'm not letting you get my blood." And they said, "Well, we go strap you to the chair and put you in jail if you don't give us your blood." They said that on December 1st of 2022. So for all I know, they probably took my blood and found a way to clone me in some facility somewhere, and then ever since then they probably been using some man that got dreads and everything, and been using some dude to act like me for the longest, yo. And now that I think about it, it could be somebody that's in California that's a clone, that's acting like me, and then they could be trying to make me look like the one that's moving in a scandalous way. They could be trying to make me look like I'm the one that's evil. Not that it just hit me. They probably making me look like it's probably a dude in California that's acting like that's literally probably me. And people probably think that that person in California is the prophet, and I'm the one that's a part of the 144,000 Israelites. And that's why I've been begging God, keep my twin sister safe, healthy, and alive, yo, because I just don't trust what's going on, what's like in this world. Keep my mama safe, healthy, and alive. Keep my sisters, my mom, and my brother safe, healthy, and alive, because they could get cloned and they could be somewhere else right now being held captive. And I could be, possibly getting framed right now and not even know it. And then everybody else probably been low-key attacking me and trying to frame me and set me up here, and I don't even know it. All of this just hit me like I'm sitting here thinking about this now. So to the singer, man, look, to all of these ladies, I never had a back and forth conversation with y'all. I reached out, I never got a response. I blew, like, I literally called it, like, reached out to the singer SZA on so many different occasions, it wasn't even funny. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to ease back, because I don't want to get sued, because I started looking like a damn stalker. But I gotta I gotta make this clear, yo. Like, I think they cloned me, and I think it's somebody in California that look just like me, match my DNA and all, but it's a clone. And it's not the real me, it's not AJ. And then I think they're trying to make me look like I'm the one that's on some Gemini Man type shit, yo. So I'm begging God to keep my family safe, healthy, and alive, because I be having dreams and visions about my twin sister, my mom, my older sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, being like held captive. So maybe me coming to Florida was a bad idea. I'm not about to stick around here too much longer. I'm about to go, yo, because now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think they got somebody else that's trying to act like me. You know what I'm saying? When I first got to Cali, I reached out to, the female singers. I reached out to a couple female celebrities. I never received a response ever. And that's just throughout my whole time of being on Instagram, for like 2022 to right now. Almost 4 years. December 2022 to right now. But I never got a response, yo. Never. And I mean absolutely never. So with that being said, I believe what's going on is it's a lookalike acting like me, yo. And they probably blocked me away from being able to be social with people, and then they took somebody that was a clone version of me and gave that person access to all internets and everything. I think that's what's happening, yo. It's 2:59 in the morning, yo. August 22nd, 2026. So I'm praying that God keeps my family safe, healthy, and alive, yo. Because I've been having dreams lately about my twin sister that be bothering me. So I realized what's been going on. I think that's exactly what has happened, yo. I think they cloned me a long time ago, and they said we're going to make an example out of this guy. So I'm not staying in Florida much longer. I can't. God bless to everybody. Any celebrity, talk to me in person, please, yo. Please talk to me in person. Don't trust this cell phone stuff. Talk to me in person, please. Trust me. I reached out numerous times to different people, but I never got a response, so I'm not lying about that. Talk to me in person, please.